Hello friends, Dr. Smita here again. Welcome you in my channel. Today in this video I am going to discuss about the structure of brain. Why to discuss the structure of brain? Because if any lesion is there due to any cause, it may hinder the growth and development of the brain. So knowing the structure of brain is very much important for us. So before starting, I request you guys to subscribe my channel for more videos. So let's start. The structure of brain. The brain is divided into mainly four parts. That is cerebellum, that is called big brain, the cerebrum, midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata. Those we will talk about first the cerebrum only. We will not deal much in the structure of brain. Just an outlook or an overview view is necessary. So to know the structure and the characteristics and the functions of the brain. So cerebrum, that is the big brain, it has two hemispheres, left cerebral hemisphere and right cerebral hemisphere, and the both left and right cerebral hemispheres is connected with each other by a thick white band, that is corpus callosum. This question has came in net exam also and many exams also. So this is very much important thing, that how the two cerebral hemispheres are connected with each other. So corpus callosum, yeah, you should remember that. Now the outer part of the cerebral hemisphere is gray matter and the inner part is white matter. So cerebral gray matter, that is called cerebral cortex, and it is thrown into a number of folds like this, a number of folds. So the elevations are called gyri, and the depressions, the folds, that is depressed part, it is called sulci. So these gyri and sulci divide the brain, divide the cerebral hemisphere into certain lobes. These lobes are frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. So these are having various functions, like frontal lobe. So frontal lobe, the precentral gyrus defines the area of frontal lobe, and the frontal lobe mainly concerned with the motor movements of the body. So if the frontal lobe is affected, if the frontal lobe is not properly developed, or due to any infection or anything, it is not properly developed, or whether it is a damage in this part, motor movements of the individual will be affected. So front and below of the precentral gyrus of the front lobe is concerned with the coordination and movement of the body and functions of the mind. So frontal lobe is mainly concerned with the movement, motor movement, and coordination of movement of the body. Then parietal lobe, it has important post central gyrus. We have already discussed gyrus and sulci, the elevations and depression parts. So the post central gyrus, it is having the parietal lobe, and it is mainly concerned with the sensations part of the body. So if this part is affected, sensation will be affected. So we should know the parietal lobe is concerned with the sensations, and it is very much important for our body too. The temporal lobe, it contains the most important thing, that is limbic system. So we will not go in the detail of the limbic system, only the functions I am discussing. So it is, limbic system is concerned with the experience of emotions. Whatever we are experiencing, it is due to limbic system only. And the autonomic functions and the endocrine systems and memory. So whatever the endocrinal disorders are there, it is also concerned with the limbic system or temporal lobe. And occipital lobe is concerned with the vision part. So vision is concerned with the occipital lobe. So if occipital lobe is affected or damaged, vision will be damaged or affected. So inner part of the brain has white matter, and there are many group or nerve fibers in the white matter, and making various connections inside the white matter. And in between white matter, there are certain gray matter present. So these are called basal ganglia. So basal ganglia, the main function is that this question also comes in many exams. Basal ganglia's main function is to regulate tone of muscle and posture of the body, how we are sitting, how we are standing, how we are walking, and tone of the muscles also. So this is controlled by basal ganglia. So if basal ganglia is affected, tone of the muscles are affected. So now the cerebral cortex, we have discussed. Cerebral cortex is divided into areas having specific functions, and these areas are called Brodmann's area. So specific numbers are given to this Brodmann area so that neurologist or psychiatrist or any doctor or anybody can identify the lesion by knowing the numbers of the Brodmann area. So the two hemispheres are connected with thick band of nerve fibers, and this is called corpus callosum. We have already discussed around this. And the reticular activating system is also very much important, and it is the system of nerve fibers, and it is starting from medulla oblongata to the thalamus and to the cerebral cortex. So this is a circle of nerve fibers. This is reticular activating system. So this is mainly deal with sleep and awakening, the biological clock. So if it is affected, our sleep and awakening is affected. So the main function is this only. The brain, the outer brain is covered with three membranes. The dura mater, it is the outermost, the arachnoid and the pia mater. Between the arachnoid and pia mater, that is, there is CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, and it is, we should remember the terms, because many questions comes. I am only dealing with the terms that in the examination, in the NET exam or graduate exam or PG also these questions comes. So cerebrospinal fluid, it is produced by choroid plexus. So choroid plexus is connected with ventricles by a thin stalk called telechoroid. So it is formed early in the embryo age. So if during the developmental period of the embryo, if it is not properly developed or damaged, all our CSF producing will be affected. So what is the functions of CSF? Mainly CSF, it contains, here what happens, that sodium and potassium and several other ions, they flow from different parts of the brain, and around 1.5 liter of CSF is produced every day, and it is very much important for our brain, because it supplies nutrition to the brain and it maintains the shape of the brain, and it is shock absorber also. If somebody gets hurt, CSF only protects the brain. Excretory functions also carried out by CSF, and transporting function, and it maintains the voltage of the brain and helps in diagnosing diseases also. So these are few points that we should remember. We are not going in deep because we are not neurologists. In psychology also these are very much important. Neurobiology also, it is very important, some of the terms. And mainly I am dealing with this because if anybody gets hurt or any part of the brain is damaged, that particular area affect the function of the particular function of the body. So we will meet you next in the next video. Thank you.